The reason why reverse birthday meant so much to me, even though this is not my first book birthday, that is actually book number 4. Either book number 4 or number 5. Number 5. It's book number 5 for me. So first, that's my 5th first book birthday. But reverse is extra special to me because reverse took 14 years, y'all. 14 years to get that out. And it wasn't necessarily that I was having problems with the story. I had the story in mind. And matter of fact, let me give you a history of reverse. I'm gonna end up chopping this video up in pieces. So reverse came about because I really started being more cognizant about my dreams. After years prior to that, I ran into some classmates who said, Brian, whatever happened to those stories you write in 7th grade? Mind you, this is a 10-year classroom reunion. Then a student was presenting in class how Stephanie Meyer's got story. The whole Twilight series came out of dreams. So I said, let me start. I'm realizing, Brian, your dreams are very vivid. So I started jotting down my dreams on a BlackBerry. Ran into who the story is based off of. A good friend of mine, my childhood friend, who Donovan's character is based off of. I had a dream one night after meeting him, running into him, that we met at a class reunion and we realized we've always had feelings for each other. Now, granted, is this a true story? No. Matter of fact, when I ran into him, he was engaged to be married. So in the dream, I thought, okay, why started at the class reunion? Why don't we back up to when the romance started? So of course, for those of you who are not familiar with me, yes, I had boyfriends in 6th and 7th grade. Did my mama want me to have them? No. Were they allowed to come over the house? No. But I did have a childhood friend growing up, Scott, the same guy I told you I just ran into years ago around 09, maybe 010, I can't remember. So no, it had to be like later than that because the class reunion was 08. I digress. So the point I'm trying to say is that story did not leave me. And originally Reverse started with him in the 8th grade. And for some reason I didn't feel comfortable with starting there. Like actually the beginning of book 2 was the beginning of book 1. So I started writing the book. I had an editor, and then the editor realized she was, I would say, deviating from the editor author world, and she was exploring something different. So I had to end that relationship, that partnership. Then I worked with another editor who realized, well, I realized things were going on where she could not devote as much attention as I needed her to. She had some family issues coming up, and she admitted, I can finish it, but you're gonna have to give me some time. And I did not want to give her that time because I was trying to get this work out there. In the midst of all that, every now and again, we would have a creative writing, what's the word I want to say? A creative writing unit, or we were working on dialogue or something that involved a novel and writing it. I would share excerpts to my students. So before I even knew what beta readers was, I was using my students as beta readers. And I'll never forget when her name is Melanie. So well, you keep saying when you publish it, when are you gonna publish it? And that kind of hit a nerve. And I remember wanting to publish it. Then I found out, oh no, you need to have a literary agent. But before you send it to the literary agent, you need to get it evaluated by this person, a good author, writer friend of mine, who I read his book to my kids, and we've since then had a real, I would say, a friendship. And he will every now and then check in on me. He's a director too. So he referred me to someone, and it was going to cost me $1,500 to get my manuscript reviewed, and I didn't feel comfortable paying that amount of money. So sat on Reverse for a minute, but I kept working on it, kept writing it, and then finally I got some real beta readers. Like I reached out to some students I had at the time, as I would love y'all to read this and tell me what I need to do with it. I only have one who responded. That student right now should be either a sophomore or a junior in college right now, and he thought it was magnificent. With the feedback I did get from those who didn't even finish it, but they admitted Machine Guns is long. So that's how Reverse became Reverse and Retreat, 2 books. So I don't know how I stumbled across Megan. Megan is an editor extraordinaire, and I don't know if she was on a live or someone was talking about her on a live. I connected with her. I had my manuscript evaluated by her. Her manuscript evaluations are not that much. I'm gonna put her website up so you can see it. And I'll admit, when she evaluated my manuscript, I was like, you were so wrong. I'm not feeling this. Because she felt like I needed an antagonist. I felt like who the antagonist kind of was worked. And she was like, nah, I think we can go deeper than this. So despite my pride, yes, I said my pride, because my pride didn't want me to go with her, because she was telling me, because even my beta reader who thoroughly read my book and gave me ample feedback felt like there was nothing wrong with the book and you can go forward as is. Everything in me was telling me you need to connect with Megan. So I connected with Megan. We revamped the book in the sense that I added the antagonist, who was Dalia. I want to say Delia so bad, but her name is Dalia. And Dalia was introduced as her track rival, but you don't see Dalia anywhere else in the book. So we revamped it where you see Dalia all throughout the book, and even to the point I'm gonna have to add not rewrite Retreat, but I'm gonna have to add Dalia in that one too, because we have to resolve what happened in book one. Reverse, I really wanted to come out between 2023 and 2024. Really, I want to say 2023. And my editor, Megan, was like, nah, it's not ready. And she said, this is what I need you to do. I need you to download some type of app that will read to you. And while we're working on the edits, like we had our physical copies of the book, I need you to listen to it while you're editing it. And then from there, Reverse, I want to say it was over 170, 180 pages. And from those edits alone, it went down to like 140, 145. And Megan, I don't think was expecting me to edit the way that I did. So she was like, now we got to do a whole new edit, Ryan. Like, this is not like a spot check. I'm going to have to edit fresh. So I was very patient with her process because she said, at the end of the day, this is your baby and you want to put it out there right. So I thank God for her. And this is an appreciation post for her too, because if she will have me, I will work with her. Reverse is a love letter to Sumter. That's what I should have said in the beginning. Reverse is a love letter to my childhood. Like some of the things that happened to Monica and Donovan, their teachers, their places in there that probably don't need, like the movie theater scene is definitely, the movie theater is not in that exact spot anymore, but they moved it down in that same plaza right off of Broad Street. I changed the name. Originally it was Dawkins Middle, and I changed it to Alice Drive Junior High. Even though it was middle, I made it junior high because I had it where 6th grade was with elementary school. In the book, I include teachers more in Retreat than I do in Reverse. And then also, even some of the things I did as a child, the forts, the creek, the riding of the bikes. Even there's a scene in the book about a 5th grade teacher who put the whole class on silent. And if you just made a sound, she would write your name down and you wouldn't get a recess. And I remember saying, ow, and she wrote my name down. That scene is in the book, but I do it from Donovan's perspective, and it's going to be an interesting turn. Like some of the stuff I do when I write is things that happen to me, but I flip it to how I wish I would have approached it as a child. Okay. I was very intentional about the relationships that Donovan and Monica had, where they had to have at least one, if not both parents who were open and would listen and would hear them and would see them. That was very important because I need parents to know a lot of things our teenagers would avoid if we are open and honest with them, but at the same time allow them the space to be open and honest with us. And yeah, so it's very interesting. This book out of all 6 books mean the most to me because it took so long, and it's here, and it's now, even though it's only a year later, starting to pick up traction. Like I got a text from one of my good friends, and someone ran up to her and told her what page they're on in the book. And I think that's the thing that kind of drew me back at first, is because I don't have an audio version of this book yet. I'm working on that, or I will be. And I feel like I should, because if I have to sit down and read your book, it's going to be a while before I read your book, because I'm an audio girl, and for me to sit down and read a book is a lot. But at the same time, I'm very blessed and fortunate that when kids find out about it, they like it. And I'm just on pins and needles, excited to hear what they thought about it. What did they like about it? So I'm just truly excited because I do truly believe I was being impatient in the process, but eventually all things worked out. Even with it being released last year, I really thought as an indie author, my books were going to skyrocket off the shelves, classroom sets being bought, school visits. I just thought all that was going to happen. I still believe it's going to happen, but how and when, that's up to God. But I just know what's going to happen, and I'm truly excited, truly excited.